You're watching UATV News. My name is Inna Kosinska. Good evening. Over the past day, the number of Ukrainians who recovered from COVID-19 has increased in comparison with those who have fallen ill. According to the Ministry of Health, 16,150 people have closed their sick leaves. However, 8,416 Ukrainians received a positive test. Most of new COVID-19 cases were recorded in the capital, as well as in Odessa, Cherkasy and Zaporizhia regions. Health Minister Maxim Stepanov announced that about 21 million Ukrainians from risk groups will be vaccinated for free.
First of all, we need to vaccinate our health workers who are like a human shield between citizens and coronavirus disease. In addition, we plan to vaccinate our soldiers as they are defending our country in the east.
The only way to overcome the coronavirus pandemic is vaccination, and Ukraine is going to purchase only certified drugs. How much will it cost to state and who will be vaccinated first? Our correspondents found out.
700,000 Ukrainians may die from the coronavirus disease until the collective immunity appears. This data was provided by the Profile Committee of the Ukrainian Parliament. Therefore, there is no alternative to vaccination. Almost a third part of Ukrainians can get vaccinated for free.
Within the available budget, it's possible to vaccinate 11.5 million people. In case Ukraine effectively purchases $4 vaccines, with addition of the COVAX initiative, we'd be able to vaccinate nearly 15.5 million people at the government and donors' expense.
National budget draft for the next year allocates $500 million for vaccination against COVID-19. The sum covers purchasing of the drug, as well as logistics and training of staff. The vaccine is not a guarantee against infection. However, the disease could pass milder. Those who get vaccinated are unlikely to have any complications or face serious course of the disease. It could happen in the forms of asymptomatic infection or a mild illness. Ukraine will procure the vaccine proven to be effective, Ministry of Health states. In turn, the self-proclaimed leader of the so-called DPR announced that they are going to use the Russian vaccine Sputnik V, but experts warn it has passed only 2 stages of clinical tests. I'm convinced, and any specialist would agree, this vaccine cannot be considered as a mean for prevention of coronavirus infection, since the third phase of clinical trials is the one where up to 50% of drugs fail to get approval for further clinical use. The Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine approved a law allowing registration of the COVID-19 vaccine under a fast-track procedure within 5 days. However, the one must be validated by the WHO and be approved by the countries with strict regulatory policies. Russia is not one of them. Reported by Nick Starkov, Inessa Zanina, Serhiy Savitsky, UATV News.
Rally of the entrepreneurs near the parliament. From the very morning, representatives of small business have blocked the government quarter. They demand to reform the tax and custom services, raise the maximum amount of income for the application of a simplified tax system, introduce a moratorium on inspections of microbusiness, and refuse to introduce registrars of settlement transactions. The protests later turned into clashes with the police. As a result, 40 police officers received chemical eye burns. There are victims among the participants of the rally as well. Those bills reflect all the leading points that suit the companies, and therefore we're fighting for them. What, for example, was proposed and accepted does not meet our requirements, and it does not simplify our work, but complicates it.
Many companies are now on the verge of survival. Add new laws, new fines, fiscalization can just close half of it. Half will go into the shadows.
Residents of Dnipro city organized a bird wildfire photography tour. Such an unusual excursion was organized by bird watchers. This hobby is only becoming popular in Ukraine, and bird watchers share their knowledge with everyone. Our correspondents will tell you more.
Participants of Winterbird photography meeting gather at noon on a spit in the middle of the Dnipro river. Orysia came from neighboring Novomoskovsk. Previously, she worked in the Askanyanova Nature Reserve. To learn more about the birds, she explores their habitats with a camera.
Look at the birds on the Dnipro, which are currently wintering or migratory. They should be rare, or if not rare, we will see typical species.
An unusual excursion was organized by Mikhailo Listopadsky. He is an activist of a new movement for Ukraine, birding, amateur bird watching. So that the participants of the photo hunt could better see the birds, he brought the necessary equipment. These are binoculars. Mikhailo gives binoculars to everyone present here and explains why he collected everyone in this particular place. There are some places, our spits, some beams, islands of nature in the city which allow birds to adapt, where there is a trace of a person but elements of nature are still present. The spit in the middle of Dnipro is an ideal wintering place for many species, says the bird watcher. Here you can see the redbook eagles, eiders and hawks. In total, about 100 bird species have been recorded on this spit over the entire time of research by all bird watchers in our city. Well, this is the picture. It has back-headed gulls on it in winter plumage, and here's the mallard. This is a boy, a drake. For several years, Yevhen caught hundreds of birds in the lens of his camera. Every bird watcher has such a concept as a lifer. This is a bird that he saw for the first time in his life. And every time a new lifer is a great joy for a bird watcher. But today they have not seen any new species. There were ravens, pigeons, seagulls and mallards, but it did not upset anyone.
This is a chance to get to know our native land better, because all the time work, home, children, and this is an opportunity to see the beauty of our city.
The tour had lasted for 2 hours. Its participants will gather again at the same place when it gets warmer. Reported by Nick Starkov, Natalia Gusak, UATV News.
Winter holidays jam. Kherson resident has invented more than 100 fruit and vegetable jam recipes. Just before the New Year holidays, she made jam of kiwi, pomelo, tangerine and orange, adding a stint of strong drinks. The woman shared her recipes with our correspondent.
Cooking is in a full swing on Lesa's kitchen. She cooks many various confitures for the New Year's festive table. She uses not only regular fruit, such as apricot or cherries, but some exotic ones as well.
Today it's basil and pomelo.
Pomelo jam is vainly a rare guest on Ukrainian festive tables, so Lesa says. After all, this fruit is rich in vitamin C and strengthens the immune system.
They say the pomelo is, by the way, a jam for loss of weight, for those who are very keen on keeping their body fit and who want to lose some weight.
She peels off the scum, then cuts the fruit into slices and covers it with sugar. Then she outs it on the stove.
Bring it to a boil, then take off the stove, and it should wait for 8 hours. Then again boiling and again 8 hours. Overall some 6-8 rounds.
It takes about 5 days to finish a jam. Basil is added right before the sealing.
So would you try? Specific flavor, bittery.
The woman has elaborated a recipe of jam for tangerine and orange lovers.
I have sliced a tangerine with peel. Orange pomelo mix is the second to add. Then I add kiwi and have the full winter complex, 4 flavors.
Kiwi jam is made in a similar order. It goes with white wine, while the strawberry jam goes with champagne. For those who lack time to buy foreign jam at the store, the Ukrainian one also suits festive dishes.
For example, I would recommend black currant for the duck, a plum sweets poultry. And as the peach is very tender, it goes with boiled meat.
Many Kherson residents admitted Lesa's recipes. Women cook them for the winter holidays every year.
I have been using Lesa's jam recipe for a long time. I even sent one to my children living in Canada. Firstly, it's all about its taste and soul. Plus, it is very difficult to compare it to whatever else.
Alessa recommends serving the pomelo jam together with cheese plate. One can also use the peel to make a candy treat for children. Reported by Nick Starkov, Yanina Lebedeva, Sergei Temchinsky, UATV News.
Winter fun in snowless weather. A tubing park was opened in the suburbs of Vinnytsia. It's an artificial snow slide where one can ride only using special sleds. Our correspondent has tried them out as well.
Snowless winter is not an obstacle for fun. Vinnytsia residents thought and decided to cover one of the hills near the Yuzhny Bukh River with snow. The hill has immediately started attracting locals.
It brings really so much fun. The sledding made me so happy. My dream came true. I haven't seen so much snow since winter started.
The tubing park was set up in the city suburb, in the village of Skurinci. The hill is just 1.5 meters high, but the sledding path is more than 200 meters long. The snow is poured from a special gun. Water is taken from the local river. Great fun here. There's not much snow this year. This first time we came here, and we think it does not last. One can go sledding here with the use of the special inflatable sleds only. There's not enough space for skiing here, while the regular sleds may destroy the snow crystals, serving the basis of the artificial snow. While using the so-called tubing, one may gain speed up to 50 kilometers per hour. All the COVID-19 safety rules are kept. It's better to go sledding alone, so the people could feel safer. The Hill Brown is not a crowded spot. Visitors are to comply with distancing and other safety measures.
Мы будем просить.
We're going to ask visitors to wear masks. All staff will be wearing face masks. All the regular guest points will be provided with sanitizers.
The tubing park will be working till mid-spring, reported by Nick Starkov, Arina Kontonistova, Vitaly Demets, UATV News.
St. Nicholas factory was opened in Dnipro. More than 100 volunteers are packing gifts for all children from low-income families. About 2,000 names were enlisted to receive congratulations from St. Nicholas. Toys, sweets, board games and stationery sets are among the gifts. On the eve of the holiday, volunteers will deliver the packages personally to their addresses. Everyone willing can bring their gifts for children to the New Year's factory. That's all for this hour. More updates on our official website, Facebook, Twitter and YouTube pages. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and good night.